What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Christian J Show. So today's TV show review is going to be on one of my all-time favorite superhero shows, which is Supergirl. Now, Supergirl premiered on CBS. Then it transitioned to the CW its second season. But I could have sworn I remember there was a part of season one that was on CBS. I mean, the CW. I think either I was mistaken or they were just doing a rerun. They were just showing season one or something. I don't know what's going on, but it was up there. Season one, amazing. Season two, great. Season three, out of this world. Season four, okay. Season five, Season 6, it's on. Oh, okay. That's basically what Supergirl, this whole show gave. Like season 4, they kind of lost the momentum that they had in season 1, 2, and 3. Remember season 1, she was coming into her powers, trying to figure out. She's getting used to flying and doing all her powers again. Then at the end of season 1, we was introduced to a new person, which was Mon-El from Daxam. Who actually is Melissa Benoist, who played Supergirl, Kara. That's actually her husband. And I know if y'all look at her, you're gonna say, yeah, she got married again. She was married to some other person, some other random person. They was on Glee together, but he's random. He's a random person. So basically, this is her. This is hers. She got married. I don't count that first marriage. I really don't. If you knew all the things that person did to Melissa Benoist, you would be like, ugh. Yeah. But anyway, it stars Melissa Benoist. She was on Glee. She played Marley Rose. Then it stars Shyler Lee, if I said her name right. Hopefully I did. But she starred on Grey's Anatomy as Lexi Gray. So if you didn't know who those two were, now you know. But I remember I posted something on TikTok like a couple of years ago, and I was like, Supergirl stronger than Superman. I knew the backlash I knew everybody was going to be in the comments like, oh, no, she's not, no, she's not, no, she's not. I knew it. I wanted to see, was anybody going to have a civil debate? But, I honestly think like some people, some comic fans, I feel like they are like threatened by women, to be honest. If you get what I'm saying, I feel like they are threatened by powerful women. So, but as I did my research, it all depends on the comic and the writer. Because sometimes you have the writer saying that she is. You have the writer in the comic saying that she's stronger than Superman. Then sometimes you have the other writer and the other comic saying that Superman is stronger. Then sometimes you have both the writer and the comic saying that both of them are equally as strong. So it all depends. It all depends on what writer and what comic and what version of the comic. Because if you get a regular comic book, yeah, it's not good. They're like, oh yeah, Superman is stronger. But if you get a different kind of comic book, yeah, they're gonna say Supergirl is stronger than Superman if canon dictates everything. So that's the thing. So basically, both of them are stronger than each other. If you get what I'm saying, both of them are stronger than each other. She's stronger than him. He's stronger than her. And half the time they right there together. They're equally as strong. because it all depends on the comic and the version of the comic and the writer. So boom, bam, we done settled that. And even though DC said that, oh yeah, Supergirl stronger than Superman, like, okay, well, whatever that means. Like, okay, so you just saying she's stronger than Superman or what? Like, show me some parts where she's stronger than him. But I do know she is in. But I knew Batman perceived her to be stronger because she had more exposure to the sun, and because she was far less prone to holding back her abilities as Superman. Because we all know Superman, he holds back a lot sometimes. If you get what I'm saying, if you read comics like I do, and you're one of the people that love superheroes, you know sometimes Superman holds back a lot. Like, this man has a bunch of powers. He can go nuclear if he wanted to, but he holds back. Could never be me though, because if you make me mad, I'm gonna obliterate. But anyway, I feel like the focus of Supergirl, it got off of Supergirl. To be honest, it got off of her. And I don't know why it did, but it felt like everyone around her wanted to be a superhero. Like, they just couldn't be a part of the team. Like, they just couldn't be the tech person or the person. Everybody wanted to be a superhero. Like, why must we make every friend of a superhero? Especially in the superheroes show. Because then at that point, you're going to be taking attention away from the person who the show is about. You're going to be putting on all that person. I don't really like that, but But I will say, the writing got bad. The writing got a little bit terrible. It did. I'm not going to lie. And I'm always the first one to say, well, if y'all don't like the writing or the CGI, then how about y'all go to Hollywood and do better then? But the writing, it did get terrible though. The actors carried the show all the way on their back to season 6. Now, I don't agree with some of these people saying that Supercorp, which was Kara and Lena, was a better ship than Caramel, Kara and Monel. No, it was not. Never was. Never was. All right. And as the Super Friends expanded, because they had to add James, he was guarding, and then had Kelly, his sister, she became guardian. Then you had Wynn, he became somebody. Then you had Nia, she became Dreamer. Then had somebody else became somebody else. Lena became a witch. Like, everybody had a power. Andrea had, she was something with spiders. Like, everybody had a power. And that's how the show lost its touch. Like, Supergirl should have been about the Danvers sisters, been about Kara, front and center, and then the background like Jean and Lena and everyone else. Like, come on now. Now, sometimes Alex really got on my nerve. Sometimes she did. Like, like, Alex, you go, really? Like that time, Carl wanted her to go to her dad's funeral, and Alex was mad about something, as usual, and she didn't want to go. And she got mad at Carl. She blew up at Carl. I was like, really? Were you just obsessed with trying to get your dad back? Like, wasn't you obsessed with doing that, trying to get your dad back, if I'm not mistaken? And I know I'm gonna get some hate for this, but Lena was overrated, to be honest. Like, to be honest, Lena really didn't serve no purpose. She really didn't. But since I loved, what's her, Katie McGrath. I love Katie McGrath. Lena, I like Lena, to be honest. I like Lena, but sometimes she really didn't serve no purpose. Sometimes Lena was just there. It's like she was just there. Maxwell Lord, I kind of wish they would have brought him back for like almost like a ally of Supergirls. Like an ally, what it is. Like a frenemy vibe. If you get what I'm saying. Now, where the show really I really got upset with the show was because in season 3, they didn't let Kara have not near love interest. A lot of people wanted Kara and Brandon to be together. But, the show people, they was like, oh, no, Kara's not going to have a love interest in season 3. Like what? Like, okay, the girl can't grieve for a while and then start slowly going back to dating or something, or talking. Like, she ain't got to get married. She can talk. And I hate how it ended, how Supergirl ended, because everybody else had a little somebody. They had them a little piece of somebody. Kara was just by herself. Like, seriously. Really. Like, you mean tell me Kara was by herself? They didn't even make her and Monel endgame. Like, I was upset about that. I really was. Because here you have two people who are destined to be together, and you don't even put them together. Then season 3, you don't even put them back together. You don't. Even though they have the chemistry. I mean, the absolute chemistry together. Even in the scenes that they aren't even talking to each other, the chemistry was there. They could just look at each other, boom, chemistry. And you didn't even put them together. Like, I have a problem with that. Then Maggie and Alex. If y'all don't know who Maggie is, Maggie came in season 2. She was Alex's first girlfriend and first fiance. Now, I liked Maggie, but then I kind of started okay, you know what? You're getting a little too irritating for me. I don't really like you like that no more. Now, where Alex and Maggie's relationship ended, Maggie didn't want no children. Did Maggie didn't want no children? Alex didn't want no children. I think Maggie didn't want no children. If I'm not mistaken, it was Maggie who didn't want any children. But anyway, they broke up. But Alex had got kidnapped by their classmate, Alex and Kara's classmate. And Maggie and Kara was arguing. because she was like, "Oh, you didn't listen to me, and now Alex is about to die. Alex is gonna go." And Carl was like, "Well, if we would just stayed there, would just talk the whole time, we never got an answer out of him." Blah 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 blah. And so Maggie was like, "Well, I'm her girlfriend," and so Carl was like, "Well, I'm her sister," and Maggie was like, "Oh, you think that trumps me?" I wanted Carl to say yes so bad, but here, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why before y'all be like, "Ugh, girlfriend does not, sister does not trump girlfriend," in the sense, because just say Maggie and Alice break up, and just say Alice was in a coma, and they broke up before Alex got in the coma. Maggie's gonna think she has right to be like, okay, well, you know what, pull the plug or do everything you can, blah 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 blah. She's not gonna have that right anymore because they broke up. Like, she's only here for a season. If they never got married or anything, if they were gonna break up. Kara has been there. Kara's her sister, so why wouldn't she trump you in the sense that, in this sense of making a decision to find her? Like, just because you got her to open up herself, open up her heart, and be who she really, her true self, you can still be wrong. You can still be wrong about ways to save her. You can. That's just me, though. To be honest, I feel like Sister Trump's girlfriend in that particular moment. Now, I wish they would have had more Superman in here. Like, I wish they would have had a little bit more Superman. Like, season 2, they had Superman for like the first 3 episodes. First 2. They had the episodes. They had him in. I know they had him in the first episode. I think they had him in the second episode too. Then they had him in the last episode, the season finale, because him and Kara had a fight because he was controlled by silver kryptonite. Yeah, child. There's a whole bunch of kryptonite. We all know the green kryptonite. It weakens Kryptonians. Red kryptonite makes them go cuckoo. It makes them turn meaner. We saw that season 1, red kryptonite Kara. Like, Miss Girl threw Cat off the building. Like a hoop. And just stood there. And then went down and saved her. Like, wow. Okay. But I feel like they should have had like a little bit more of Superman. Like, they would bring him out during crossovers, but as for him being in the show, like, come on now. Like, come on now. And one of my main problems was they had wrote Kara like the girl version of Superman. And mind you, she's not like that in the comics. She's not like the girl version of Superman in the comics. Like, Miss Girl is like a little ruthless, to be honest. If we being honest with each other, she's not how we saw Kara on the TV screen. She's not like that in the comics. I remember her comic book, Supergirl's comic book. What's that one I got? What's that one? Because, dog, I forget which one it was. I know it was the New 52. It was the New 52. Which one it was? Do, 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 do. Nope, it wasn't the last daughter. It was. Not act like I don't want to find it. But anyway, I had a comic book of Supergirl. And like when I tell you Miss Girl was throwing hands. she wasn't the girl version of Superman. Miss Girl was throwing hands to everybody. And I tell you, she threw hands with Wonder Woman and Flash. That girl threw hands. Like she was not playing around. She said, I'm tired of y'all. Y'all gonna stop comparing me to Supes. Okay, here you go. It was Sanctuary, Volume 3. Like Miss Girl was throwing hands in Sanctuary, Volume 3 Sanctuary. She said, I'm tired of y'all comparing me to Superman. I'm tired now. Y'all could get enough of that. Yeah, she was throwing hands with Wonder Woman. She threw hands with Brainiac. Was it Brainiac? What's his name? Brainiac or whatever. Either way, she threw hands with these people. She had the Flash down on his luck. She even had Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman had her little lasso wrapped around her. Miss Girl broke out the lasso. I was like, okay, all right now. But like the TV show version and the actual version, the TV show version is in the comics. Very different. Very, very different. Very different. So they wrote her as the girl version of Superman. Like, oh yeah, we're holding back. I hold back my powers a lot. This, that, and the third. I'm going to be fair. I'm not this, that, and the third. No, y'all should have written her like they write her in the comics. That's what y'all should have did. But I know they are making a new Supergirl movie. I think it's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I hope we get to see Melissa Benoist in there too. I hope we get to see her in there too as like another variant of Supergirl, because we know like there are different Earths in DC universe. In the DC extended universe, like with Marvel, they have the multiverse, like different variants of Wanda or Captain America or Doctor Strange. They have different variants. So hopefully in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, we have a different version of Kara. So hopefully we get to see Melissa Benoist. And I did miss Kat after she left. Like, I feel like she was like a good balance of sassy, but she was a boss. You knew she was that girl. I mean, even though she was a little rude to Kara, or as she said, Kira, she was all right. She did inspire. She does inspire Kara on occasion, but she is casually abusive. Then when she threatened James that she was gonna fire him if he did not exploit his relationship with Superman, just to get her an interview with Supergirl. Like, really? Oh, Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, he wanted to go by James now. Then when the way she treated Kara after her son's breakup was unfair. Like, she was upset, but she didn't even bother to hear Kara's side of the story. Did she claim she wanted things to be strictly professional when she also hired another assistant just to screw with Kara? Siobhan, Silver Banshee doing Now, I feel like they had it all wrong when writing this show. Let me tell you why. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I just gotta say it. Supergirl is one. Now, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I just gotta say it. Superman is the one who has foreign origins. He grew up in a human environment. Most of his behavior and heroic nature comes from the Kents. Deep down, he is a human with superpowers, though his origins can become relevant in some of his stories and personality. Supergirl is the Kryptonian who flew from her home to go to Earth when she was older. She's supposed to be an alien raised in a culture from another planet who was there for the extinction of her people. But yet and still, in this show, Kara has always been portrayed as like Superman. She's mostly just a human in her behavior. To be honest, the show never really took time to think about Kryptonian culture. Therefore, that side of Kara is just like bland. Imagine people who change countries. They adapt to the culture of their new place while keeping parts of their old culture. Kara, we really didn't get to see her old culture because it's like they kind of like pushed all her old culture out of the window, and just wanted her to be, okay, yeah, we're gonna make her like Superman. She's gonna be a human. She grew up with the Danvers, so now she's basically like the female Superman. Like, she's from a completely different planet, and we never saw any type of what this is how we did on Krypton, or this is what we did, or anything. Like, no little details, no fundamental part of her character. It's like they didn't care about the thing that makes Kara different from Superman. It's like they actually didn't care about the female superhero regarding her male counterpart, if you get what I'm saying. Like, this girl, she had powers. She had the sonic clap, and she had something else that Superman doesn't have, I don't think. And the fact that she was 12 when she left Krypton, so she had a lot more experience on Krypton than Superman did. And I would think that they would tap into that while she's on Earth. But they never tapped into her Kryptonian side on Earth. And that's why I always say that they wrote her as the female version of Superman. And then when you go back and read the comics, you're like, she ain't nothing like Superman in the comics. Even though that her and Sue both stand for true justice and American way. And she said for hope and all that. True justice, American way, hope and all that. Their whole line. It's like they say, okay, well, you're gonna understand for all that, but you're gonna add hope in there too. So you're gonna be a symbol for hope. So That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna be a symbol for hope. And even though some parts of the show, like season 1, they would have like moments where she is thinking back on the time of Krypton, but not as much as the time of Krypton. Like even though they did that one episode where she was in that like little dream state, and she was dreamt that she was back on Krypton, and she had her mom and her dad. I think they had a brother or some no Clark, Superman. That's who was with them. And Alex had to go get her back out of that little dream state. But anyway, even though they would have like little moments of Kryptonian things where they would bring like her mom or her aunt Astra, and then her mom Alora. They really didn't tap into the whole Kryptonian side of Kara. They kind of like just kept like the Kryptonian side, like threw it out the window, and like, okay, so but yeah, you're gonna be Kara. You're not gonna be Kryptonian Kara. Like, come on. And then when you remember Alex came out, they forgot that Kara was from another culture, and she might have had a different opinion on homosexuality that she might want to mention. They didn't even let her do that. But mind you now, they had Monel to mention it, but not Kara. And if we're being honest, they took some of Superman villains and changed the plot and to fit her, to fit Kara. Just like they didn't even want to try, if you be being honest. Even though I still rewatch Supergirl, I always find like these key moments like, did y'all even try to read the comics, read all about her, search her up, see who her main villains are, or anything? Like, it's evident that they did not read the comics, because if they did, she would have villains that fit her, that were like her nemesis. Like what is, we all know Lex Luthor, of course. Even though they did have some parts of some villains, they did have some villains that were right there with her. They had the World Killers, Rhea, of course. Now, Brainiac, they should have brought Brainiac in, because Brainiac, he was a Kryptonian. Not the Brainiac that we're thinking about on this TV show. This is if they would have went on with like some of her villains instead of bringing like some of Superman villains and like changing the plot to fit her. So like they'll have a problem with her, or sometimes they'll have a problem with Superman, and the only way they can get the Superman is to get through her. Like, what's that Reactron? Y'all remember the man had the metal on? No, the second episode, third episode, one episodes. But anyway, Brainiac, he was a Kryptonian. Supergirl hates Brainiac for his part in Krypton's destruction and bottling up Kandor. She also hates him for turning her father into the cyborg Superman. So, yeah. the word killers, like I said, we had those in there. So that was good that they looked it up. That was in season 3. The workers were a group of alien enhanced genetically and programmed to conquer worlds by a group of Krypton scientists, including the Zor-Els. So rain, purity, pestilence, they just didn't do the other people. And then you had Leviathan. That was like the first episode. No, Leviathan, a global secret organization. That was in season 5. And yeah, season 5, and I think a little bit of season 6, like the first episode of season 6. Well, I think it was just all season 5. Ramakan, Andrea Rojas, EU Testmarker. So like, then the evil doppelgangers, Bizarro Supergirl, Dark Supergirl, Night Flame, Saturn Girl, Red Daughter. We had Bizarro Supergirl first season, then Red Daughter the 4th season. So I kind of like that they kept some people in here. Yeah, kind of like that they kept some people in here. Then like the human villains was Reactron, as I just said. Benjamin Crow is a violent, psychopathic, sleazy, egotistical, mass murdering, bullying thug who acts cocky and grinning as long as he thinks he has the upper hand, holding an internet irrational grudge against Supergirl because she beat him down. Once he attempted to kill her over and over again, he failed, but he managed to murder her father to her face and her mother and her whole race, but her cousin. So, okay, now that is a whole different plot that was in the show. Because mind y'all, the whole show, the show Reactron didn't even think about her father or her mother or her whole race. He was upset because of Superman, so the only way he could get to Superman is through Supergirl. See, they had Superwoman, General Sam Lane's eldest daughter, then Lex Luthor, of course, Lena Luthor, Black Banshee, Leviathan, all that. Then the Minor, all these. You can find them on the DCFandom.com, /Supergirl villains. But anyway, Supergirl, TV show, amazing. I suggest you watch it. It's on Netflix. So, if you want those people that love superhero shows, I suggest you watch Supergirl. You'll like it. You'll probably have like some criticisms, but overall, it is a good show. So I hope you enjoyed my long review of Supergirl. And tune in next time for another episode of The Christian J Show.